If you don't control your emotions, the world will do it for you. Have you noticed? We're living in an age where everything feels like it's falling apart. Bad news comes up, people get angry easily, hurt easily, lost easily. And the scariest part isn't that the world is chaotic, it's that our minds are being pulled around every day without us even realizing it. This video is not here to teach you how to become numb. And it's not here to say that emotions are bad. This video is for those who are tired of reacting to everything, for those who feel like their emotions are running their lives, and for those who are looking for a way to stand firm in a world that no longer stands still. Today, we'll walk through 20 Stoic quotes divided in 6 core ways of thinking. Each group won't just be explained on a deep level, but will also come with practical exercise, things you can apply immediately in daily life. No complicated philosophy. No need to become a philosopher. You just need to want to keep your inner calm in a world that's losing control more and more every day. If you're ready, let's begin at the most important place of all, the order within you. Let's be honest for a moment. You're not stressed because of the world. You're stressed because you're trying to control what was never under your control. The news, other people, the economy, social media, careless words from others. You can't control any of it. Yet you're reacting to all of it. And here's the first quote, the backbone of Stoic philosophy. You cannot control the chaos of the world, but you can control the order of your mind. This quote doesn't comfort you. It puts responsibility directly in your hands. Yes, the world is chaotic, but a chaotic mind, that's a choice even if you've never seen it that way. Stoicism doesn't ask, why is the world unfair to me? Stoicism asks, why do I allow external chaos to enter my mind? External desire tests you, internal order defines you. The world only tests you. It throws problems, difficult people, and bad situations in your path. But what defines who you are is not what happens, it's the order you maintain inside when it happens. Two people face the same situation, one collapses, the other becomes calmer. Not because the situation is different, but because their inner structure is different. In a broken world, inner discipline is the last unbreakable refuge. The world can lose its morals. System can fail. People can betray you. But there is one thing no one can take from you unless you hand it over yourself: inner discipline. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Discipline. The ability to hold your principles steady while everything around you slips out of control. That is the last refuge, not to escape life, but to avoid being crushed by it. A calm mind turns a broken world into a manageable one. Stoicism doesn't promise a better world. It offers something more realistic. If your mind is calm and know, everything becomes manageable. Not easy. Not comfortable. But manageable. Calmness doesn't erase problems. It shrinks them in your mind. And that's when you regain control. In a world that is falling apart, remain someone who is held together from within. This quote doesn't ask you to save the world. It only asks you not to fall apart with it. You don't need to be the strongest person. You just need to be someone who doesn't break inside. In a fractured world, inner holiness itself becomes an act of resistance. Exercise 1. The circle of control. 5 minutes a day, every night. Write down 3 things that bothered you today. Split them into 2 columns. Things I can control, things I can't control. Cross out the second column. No thinking. No arguing. Just cross it out. You're training your brain to stop reacting in the wrong places. Exercise 2. The 1-second pause. When something irritates you, don't reply. Don't react. Don't explain. Pause for 1 second and breathe slowly. That pause is the moment you reclaim inner order before the world takes over. Exercise 3. The morning Stoic question. Every morning, ask yourself one question: what might happen today and how will I keep inner order? Not to worry but to prepare your mind, like sharpening a weapon before battle. If you can master your inner order, the next group will show you why you keep overreacting. In the next group, we'll talk about emotion, reason, and judgment, the place where most people lose themselves without ever realizing it. Let's say something uncomfortable. You're not hurt by life as much as you think. You're hurt by the way you interpret life. Stoicism didn't deny emotions. It simply refused to let them drive. And this quote lays the foundation for everything in this group. Emotions are signals, not commands. Listen to them, but do not obey them blindly. Emotions are like warning lights on a car dashboard. They tell you something is happening. But if every time a light turns on, you jerk the steering wheel, slam the brakes, and panic, a crash is inevitable. Stoicism teaches you to look at the light while keeping your hands on the wheel. Emotional control is not suppression but alignment with reason. This is where many people misunderstand. Emotional control is not pretending to be strong. It's not swallowing anger. It's not saying I'm fine while burning inside. Control means putting emotions in their proper place. Reason doesn't kill emotion. It guides it. Like a river with light banks, it floods. With banks, it becomes powerful. You suffer more from your judgments than from reality itself. This one hurts. And it's uncomfortably true. Reality happens once. But you replay it in your head dozens, hundreds of times. They shouldn't have said that. This isn't fair. Why is it always me? That's not reality. That's a sentence you pass on yourself. Stoics call this judgment. It's not the event that hurts you, it's the story you tell about it. What disturbs you is not events but your attachment to how things should be. This is where the ego enters. You're not hurt by what happened. You're hurt because it didn't happen the way you wanted. The world doesn't follow your script. And every time it goes off roll, you call it unfair. Stoicism doesn't tell you to abandon standards. It tells you to abandon the illusion that the world owes you anything. Do not confuse sensitivity with wisdom. Wisdom knows when to remain unmoved. Today, strong reactions are called depth. Being easily hurt is called authentic. Stoicism disagrees. Wisdom is not feeling more. Wisdom is knowing when feeling is unnecessary. Not every comment deserves your reaction. Not every stimulus deserves a response. The wise don't shut down emotions, they choose their battles. Exercise 1. Separate event and interpretation. When something upsets you, write 2 lines. Event: what actually happened. No emotion, no assumptions. Interpretation: what am I telling myself about it? 90% of suffering lives in the second line. Exercise 2. Ask the Stoic question. Whenever emotion rises, ask, is this happening or am I judging it? That question creates distance between you and the emotion. And that distance is freedom. Exercise 3. Practice delayed reaction. Choose one situation each day where you intentionally don't react immediately. No explaining. No proving. No defending your ego. You're training calmness as a skill. If you think emotional control is enough, the next group will show you why calmness is real power. In Group 3, we'll talk about calmness as a form of silent authority, something no one can see, but everyone feels when they stand in front of you. We live in a time where strong reactions are mistaken for strength. Loud voices are confused with power. Anger is seen as courage. Overpowering others is called winning. Stoicism looks at all of this and says no. And this quote is the first wake-up slap. Anger promises strength but delivers weakness. Calm promises nothing but delivers clarity. Anger sells you an illusion. It makes you feel stronger, more in control, but right after that, it takes away clarity, credibility, and often your best opportunity. Calmness is different. It doesn't make you feel strong, but it helps you make the right decision. And in real life, the one who decides correctly is the one who wins. Self-control is the quiet proof of true strength. No one applauds self-control. No one gives medals for not losing your temper. No one sees how many impulses you swallowed in silence. And that's exactly why self-control is real strength. And you can lose control. Very few people choose not to. Stoics don't need an audience. They only need full ownership of themselves. The one who masters his emotions is never truly defeated, no matter the outcome. If you truly understand this, you'll stop being afraid of losing. You might lose an argument, miss an opportunity, be misunderstood, go unrecognized, but if you don't lose yourself in the process, you were never defeated. Someone who loses control, even if they win on the outside, is still defeated on the inside. Stoicism measures victory not by outcomes, but by inner integrity. Let me ask you something. Answer it slowly in your mind. The last time you got angry, were you actually stronger afterward? Or were you just more tired, more regretful, left cleaning up what you just destroyed? Calmness is quiet, but it never leaves ruins behind. Exercise 1. Delaying power. When you have the ability to react strongly, choose not to use it immediately. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to wait. Ask yourself, if I respond 1 hour later, what would change? Exercise 2. Observe the body during anger. The next time anger appears, where so you feel it? Chest, jaw, hands. How is your breathing? You're shifting from being carried by emotion to observing emotion. And the observer is always stronger than what is being observed. Exercise 3. Slan wins every night. Write down one moment where you could have lost control but didn't. Don't share it. Don't brag about it. Just acknowledge it. That's how Stoics build real strength. If you think calmness is enough, the next group will confront you with a harder question: what are you demanding from the world and from yourself? In Group 4, we'll talk about personal responsibility in an imperfect world where many people choose blame and very few choose maturity. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth: the world is not fair. And it has no obligation to be fair to you. Stoics don't argue with this. They accept it, move forward. And this quote draws a very clear boundary: do not demand a fair world, demand a steady mind. Most suffering comes from an unspoken demand: things should have been different. But every time you demand the world to change to meet your expectations, you hand your mind over to it. Stoics don't ask for an easier world. They train themselves to be stronger. When you expect less from the world, you require more from yourself. This is the turning point of maturity. When you lower expectations of the world, you are forced to become more disciplined, more accountable, less blaming, not because you're pessimistic, but because you're realistic. Stoics don't live on fragile hope. They live on self-reliance. Do not let the flaws of the world justify the loss of your character. Many people hear this. Very few live it. The world is corrupt, so I become corrupt. Others, additionist, so I am too. The system is broken, I don't need principles. Stoics call this moral surrender. The world may be flawed. Your character doesn't have to be. Holding your standards when no one is watching, that's personal responsibility at its highest level. Think about this: what are you demanding from the world that you've never demanded from yourself? Fairness, respect, honesty, stability. Stoicism asks back, have you become those things yet? Exercise 1. The responsibility question. When something goes wrong, ask, what is my part in this, even if it's just one pawn? Just 1%. That's where personal power begins. Exercise 2. Lower expectations. Raise standards. Write down 3 things you expect others to you for you, then turn them into standards you apply to yourself. For example, should be on time. I am always on time. People should respect me. I behave in a respectable way. Exercise 3. Silent character check. Every day ask yourself, if no one cared about this, would I still do the right thing? If the answer is yes, you're building character that just depends on circumstances. If you think responsibility is the hardest part, the next group will challenge you on a subtler level. Reason or conscious choice. Next, in Group 5, we'll talk about provocation, reaction, and deliberate choice, where a single second of pause can completely change the outcome. Let me say this clearly, no one can control you if you don't react immediately. Most people don't live by choice. They live by reflex. A provoking comment, erection. A disrespectful look, erection. A negative message, erection. And Stoics call that losing self-mastery in a single second. The world may provoke you endlessly, but only you decide when to respond. This quote flips the victim mindset upside down. The world will always provoke you. People will test your limits. Situations will be unfavorable. But when you react, that's your decision, not theirs. Stoics understand this sharply. Whoever makes you react is controlling you. Think about the last time you replied to a message while angry, said something you later regretted, dressed as so you wouldn't lose. In those moments, you weren't choosing. You were being dragged. Do not hand your peace to people who have not earned your respect. This quote is very real and very painful. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Not everyone has the right to disturb your peace. Every time you lose your temper over a trivial person, you're paying a very high price for something very cheap. Stoics aren't cold. They're selective with their energy. An average person asks, do I have the right to react? A Stoic asks, is this reaction worth it? One question is about entitlement. The other is about value. And that difference creates the gap between someone who is always dragged around and someone who always stands firm. Exercise 1. The golden gap. When you're triggered, don't ask what to do. Create a gap. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds. Inside that gap, you regain the power of choice. Exercise 2. The deciding question. Before reacting, ask, will this reaction make me stronger or just feel lighter for 5 seconds? If it only brings sharp relief, the price is usually long regret. Exercise 3. Guard your peace like an asset. Every night, ask yourself, today who or what tried to take my peace and did I allow it? No blame. No judgment. Just awareness. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. If you think controlling reactions is the peak, the final group takes you to the deepest layer of Stoicism. Suffering is not to be avoided but refined. Together, we move to Group 6, where we talk about suffering, refinement, and quiet resistance, where people stop running from life and start growing from its impact. Let's say something few videos dare to say. You cannot live a meaningful life if all you do is try to avoid suffering. Suffering is not your fault. But how you face it, that is your responsibility. And this quote sets the foundation. The Stoics not escape suffering, he refines himself through it. Stoics don't run from pain. They don't romanticize it either. They face it and ask a practical question. Who is this pain shaping me into? The same event, one person bitter, another becomes deeper. The difference isn't the event. It's how they use it. When the world is irrational, reason becomes an act of quiet rebellion. The modern world isn't lacking emotion. It's lacking reason. It rewards extremism, amplifies outrage, encourages instant reaction. In such an environment, calm thinking itself becomes an act of resistance. No banners, no arguments, just not being swept away. Stoics don't shout. They stand firm, and that alone sets them apart. Pause for a moment. What in your life right now is causing you pain but also teaching you the most? If all you want is for it to disappear, you'll miss the lesson. Stoics don't ask, how do I stop the pain? They ask, how do I make this pain not be wasted? Exercise 1. The Refinement Journal. When something difficult happens, write, what quality is this testing in me? If I face this correctly, where will I become stronger? Don't ask why me. Ask who will I become after this? Exercise 2. Quit resistance. Choose one situation X they where you deliberately. Don't overreact, don't judge too fast, don't let emotions take the lead in a noisy world. Recent silence is strength. Exercise 3. Transforming pain every night. Complete this sentence. Today, the most uncomfortable thing I faced helped me train. Fill it with patience, discipline, humility, or the ability to let go. You training transformation, not avoidance. We started with inner order. Moved through emotion and reason. Learned calmness as strength. Accepted personal responsibility. Mastered reason. And ended with suffering as refinement. Stoicism doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger to live it. The world may still be broken, but if you keep inner order, you were never defeated. T. If you've listened this far, you're probably like me, tired of how loud the world is, and even more tired of a restless mind. Stoic philosophy Zen promise an easier life. It offers something far rarer, the ability to stand firm when everything else is shaking. You don't have to agree with everything in this video. But if even one sentence made you pause, one moment made you think differently, then this video has done its job. If these ideas are worth carrying into your daily life, hit like, not for the algorithm but as a quiet commitment to yourself. I choose inner order. If you no longer want your emotions, circumstances, or other people to control your reactions, subscribe. Not to watch more videos, but to train a different way of living. And if someone comes to mind right now, someone who's struggling, easily angered, lost in this world, share this video with them. Not to teach. Just to remind them there is another path. We can't fix the world overnight. But we can start with our minds today. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, hold on to your inner order.